So I'm on day two of semen retention, and this journey I'm really trying to really lock the fuck in with this journey. I am someone who has not really took retention really serious as I should, and I'm learning more and more as I deep get more into spirituality, more into religious texts and stuff like that. That protecting this energy is a great energy to go ahead and protect, but also to this energy you don't have to do retention. You have to really find a deep reason to do retention. And that's been a challenging thing for me. So I guess I'm gonna really talk about systems and talk about really finding a purpose and finding a true purpose in doing this because is retention really gonna go ahead and help you in areas in life? It can for some, and it can't for not for others. But systems I'm going to talk about first is me figuring out really a lot about my systems. And this is what I really recommend for you to. You really, I suggest, if you're chronically addicted to the hub, you have to be able to go ahead and get used to stop watching that stuff. You have to. You have to be able to get comfortably just whacking your stuff without the hub. And that is not a common advice to go in and give, but if you're doing it 3 or 4 times a day, you're gonna say, "Fuck, I'm going to go on retention." You're not gonna be on this journey for a long time. I am someone who will smack the monkey two times a day. That's 3 times a day, 4 times a day is probably the max every day, but 2 times a day, and say, "Fuck, I'm gonna go on retention." You're not gonna go ahead and go that deep in retention because you're not really taking a great step in progressive overloading in this path. I am someone who is really doing it inconsistent now. I yank the chain inconsistently. It's not every single day. It's not twice a day. It's I do it this day, I do it another day. Sometimes hey man, relapse, I say, hey fuck, I'm gonna do it again. I do it 2 times that day. Do one time that the next following day. I go a couple of days off, couple of days off, do relapse there again. If you get to that point, that is the point where you could constantly hop on retention when you're doing it inconsistently. But if you're jacking your stuff every single day, watching hub every single day, let's go ahead and build some systems. So the systems is from Atomic Habits. It's a pretty popular book, and I have read the book and really didn't give a shit to input systems or just forgot about the systems until I saw Instagram reel talking about systems and say, hey man, why am I not doing systems here? So the really about systems here is you really have to really realize your trigger points. If you got IG models who you constantly beat off to, block them. Block them. First thing you do, block them. Okay, we realize if you bring your phone inside your bathroom, that is a no go. Don't bring your phone to the bathroom. Don't bring your phone into the bed. Wherever you beat your stuff at, don't bring your phone in that area. You really have to really realize what are the areas, what's prone, what makes you go ahead and beat off. For me, hey, go inside of a bathroom with my door closed with my phone in there. With lotion right in front of me. I'm gonna be tempted to go ahead and go on the hub and jack my stuff because I have everything available right in front of me. So if you're not bringing your phone in the bathroom when you're on the shitter, that is the first step. Okay, that's the first step in building a way for our system. Another way is to stop bringing your phone in your bedroom when you go to sleep, unless you have self control. I could bring my phone to the room because I don't watch the hub in my room. I don't beat off in my room. I do it in a bathroom. So that is my trigger spot. Social media. There's a lot of softcore shit on social media everywhere. Ads, Instagram models. They just pop up everywhere. People, you got friends sending you twerking videos. You got friends sending you softcore shit. Tell them, hey, bro, I'm trying to lock in, not do this stuff, or you gotta check them at some point. And if you're really serious about this journey, and you have to block a lot of the stuff on social media. If you don't use social media for any beneficial reason of trying to go ahead and grow your brand, personal brand, or trying to go ahead and do stuff with social media, Go ahead and get your friends, the friends that you really, really mess with, go ahead and get their numbers down. If you don't have their numbers down already, let's just text them. That is an alternative way to go ahead and do things. You have to take a step back from Instagram, from TikTok, because those are your triggers. Okay, once we take away the things of not bringing our phone to the bathroom, not bringing our phone to the bedroom, not taking a step back from social media, now we really have to go ahead and address the micro details. For me, hey, me changing in the bathroom, my door closed, I have to be able to go ahead and do that quick. My laundry basket is inside my garage, so I change my clothes outside my not drawers, outside my garage quickly. That's where I do it at. I have the door closed, of course, but I do it there quickly because I'm not gonna beat off in the garage. I go in the bathroom, do my morning routine with the door open because if I have that door closed and if I get bricked, I'm pretty much cooked. So I have my door open. You really have to figure out, okay, when you beat off, what are you doing when you're beating off? Really figure out your triggers, your habits, and things that you do, and make those habits much more difficult to be accomplished. That is the whole entire point of building systems, is to make the harder habits more difficult to go ahead and do. You're making it harder to go ahead and beat off in the bathroom because, hey man, I I gotta go ahead and walk out the bathroom, go ahead and get my phone, to go ahead and come back into a bathroom to go ahead and do it. If you remove lotion out your bathroom, doing it rough, hey man, I got calluses on my hand, and this is a major reason for me to stop doing it because, hey man, if I want to go ahead and go crazy in the future, it's gonna be hard to go ahead and do that because I'm not gonna feel any sensitivity down there. And two, that is a huge thing about doing this. This is more so senior attention talking about, hey man, we struggle with porn, we struggle with masturbation. These are the two things that we're really trying to go ahead and overcome. Those are the things that I'm really trying to go ahead and talk about. With this, of course, some people are able to go ahead and hook up and do stuff like that. Hey man, I'm a 21-year virgin, never had a girlfriend before. I'm not saying that in like a bad way. I'm saying that in the way of, hey, I chose to be a virgin. I chose not to go ahead and rush into a relationship and stuff like that. And I'm also saying, hey, I've also been lonely as well. It took me a lot to come to this realization where I'm at right now. I've been deep in there. So this is more so towards masturbation and watching that website. But really figure out these habits. Figure out these systems. Make the harder habits more difficult to achieve and make the good habits more easier to go ahead and achieve. And think about some good habits for preventing relapses is, hey, it's kind of difficult, but when you really get urges, if you're consuming a lot of content, if you're consuming a lot of music and stuff like that, take a step back, legitimately go outside somewhere. You go outside or meditate. You have to be able to breathe because, dude, when we're in that state of being really horny as fuck, you could barely even breathe. You're really in the fight or flight phase. And to really get out of that fight or flight phase, you really have to go ahead and take a step back and really breathe. Also, too, you have to make sure your good habits are able to be more easier to go ahead and achieve. Make it easier to go ahead and journal. Make it easier to go ahead and meditate. Make it easier to go ahead and work towards your goals and purpose. Make those things more easier to go ahead and work towards. If it's uncomfortable to go ahead and do your goals and purpose, that is an issue. If it's difficult to go ahead and meditate and journal, that is an issue. What I mean by making it difficult to go ahead and meditate and journal, you don't have a comfortable space in your house to go ahead and do it. You don't have a consistent video. Hey, when I get urges, I go ahead and go to that video. Well, let me emphasize that even more. Sorry for my stuttering and stuff like that. But with meditation, have a consistent video that you go to. When you get urges, you go to that video. Don't make it when you get these urges, you start scrolling through all these videos trying to go and find a meditation video. Have a meditation video already saved. Hey, when I get urges, I go automatically to that video. make those habits more easier. And kind of going back onto the second part of me just talking about semen retention is for me right now, man, I'm just really trying to go ahead and master myself. I'm someone really who believes in practicing this practice, I'm able to go ahead and master myself. I'm more so of a no fat person because I am someone who doesn't go ahead and hook up with hundreds of girls or doesn't go ahead and hook up. Yeah, I don't hook up and do stuff like that. I'm a virgin at 21 years old. So I'm not someone to really go down that path. And what I'm really trying to go ahead and say here is that retention is a way for me to go ahead and put myself in uncomfortable situations, a way for me to go ahead and master myself and master my urges, master my feelings, master my emotions. For some, we have to be honestly realistic with retention. Relapsing is not a bad thing, especially if you're doing it while a website. Especially if you have made progress compared to last month or last year and you relapse, it's not the end of the world. And even if you relapse with the hub, it's not a bad thing. You're not going to manifest bad things in your life. You're not going to have negative things that happen in your world because we think when we relapse that negative things happen in this world. We feel drained, negative. People not going to give us attention. Wait, going for attention on retention is one of the more stupidest things ever to go ahead and chase. And the people who go for the silly benefits of woman attraction, attention, all the validation and stuff like that really experience a lot of things when they relapse. And it's not a bad thing to go ahead and relapse. It's not a bad thing to go ahead and release at the end of the day. I'm saying that as someone who has been really long in this community for a long time, but I'm saying that this as someone who is not deep into this shit. Because you don't need retention to go ahead and be successful. You don't need retention to go ahead and be rich. You don't need retention to go ahead and get um, woman. You don't need woman. You don't need this to go ahead and achieve stuff. What you need is mastery of yourself. If you're able to go ahead and master your urges, right? If you're beating yourself 2 times a day off a website, you're not mastering your urges. Yes, you can still be successful. Yes, you can still go ahead and get women in your life. Yes, 100%. But it's more so of a sense of mastering yourself, and that's kind of a huge point with this, and that's kind of what I'm on right now. I'll probably talk about this more soon, but I'm gonna try to upload consistently on here. Peace.